From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
What's up, world? It is time for the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod himself, live from Las Vegas, Mr. Jeff Dawson. And we are feeling good. We are feeling great. This is year number 2 for the NFL Bet Exchange. This is week 1 as well, too. So, Jeff, we were some dog chasers last year a lot of times, and we were able to hook everybody up with a winning record when it came to dogs as well, too. So we do still have the dog bet of the week as well, too. So you guys pay attention to that. And then we also have a different little format this year. Yeah, last year I used to get us kind of confused with the AFC versus NFC games, divisional games. We're just going to go right down the board that you see in Vegas on Sundays to just make it real easy for you. So we start off, Jeff, here. And let me go ahead and introduce my man, Jeff. I'm just over here jumping into things, but, you know, we're moving a little quicker than we usually do. We don't have as much time as we did last year when we're doing it. We're trying to keep this to an hour. So, Jeff, go ahead and break it down for the people, your experience and everything in this industry and, you know, what you're all about and everything like that when it comes to sports betting on the NFL.
Well, first of all, blessed and honored to be a part of this, as you said, in year 2. Myself have over 30 years of experience in the sports wagering business. East Coast Sports Investors is in its 6th full season, number 1 ranked on Google first page for sports investors. What we like to do is take the approach as we're your sports broker. We follow the numbers 24/7, 365, like your stockbroker does. And we look to jump into edges, values, contrarian, fade the public, anything that we think we can give you an edge or an opportunity to cash a ticket. That's our job. And most importantly, to understand that, you know, for us, every game is the same. It's a 1-unit play. And also realize it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we're coming to week 1 where a lot of people here are ecstatic. Okay, we want you here for week 6, 10. We want you here for Thanksgiving, and most of all, here for the full 18 weeks. And most importantly, you know, to build that bankroll, build some trust, and you know, put some money in your pockets.
And that's what it's all about. So let's go ahead and jump into our first game, and it's going to be a Thursday night football game. It's going to be the Bucks and the Cowboys. The Cowboys coming in as a plus 300 dog with the defending Super Bowl champions. The Bucks coming in at minus 375. It's at 75 and a hook. It's at 7.5 and a hook right now when it comes to the spread, Jeff. I'm looking at this one, and I think that this one will be a late bet down to the Cowboys to get it at 6.5. That will entice more Bucks bettors when we get to the final ticks of a full game situation. Jeff, what are your thoughts real quick on this?
Yeah, this line opened at 6.5 and was frozen for weeks upon weeks. And about 10 days ago, it shot to 7.5, even saw some 8s in Vegas. Currently at 7.5. When we crunched the numbers again this morning, Vegas is telling us $28-20. So me personally, I think there'll be the public will be definitely on the Bucs side. I think the Cowboys will be the contrarian side, hence why we are taking the Cowboys plus 7.5. Hopefully keep it close, or even that late touchdown late by CeeDee Lamb or Zeke to, you know, backdoor the cover here.
All right, so I'm looking at my notes right now, and I can see that the Cowboys were actually 4-3 last year as an underdog against the spread, which was much better than them as a favorite last year, being 1-8. So pretty much this puts them in a position to where a lot of people will probably jump all over the Cowboys early, in my opinion. But then later on, you know, you want to get that Bucks play in. So when I look at the over-under of 51, they're saying to us that this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't really feel like this will be a high-scoring game. I think that what happens is that without the full preseason where you didn't get guys to actually play 2 weeks, of real time, just having guys out there for, a series or two, this is going to take a little bit of time, especially on the Cowboys side when you got Dak Prescott, who's now just coming back from injury and everything like that, and they're kind of slowly bringing him back. So he should be a full go Thursday, but I still think that this game will come down to the execution of both teams, and I think that the execution won't be as solid as it will be in the coming weeks.
I agree. There's so many question marks here. Also losing an offensive tackle lineman, I'm sorry, is a problem. We haven't seen Dak so long. It looks like Zeke is motivated and focused. Tom has been in this spot 7 times, which, after a Super Bowl, actually 10 times. And I know for, living an hour from there, they usually take care of business here. There was a late backdoor cover by Antonio Brown when he was still Pittsburgh. And then Kansas City got a second half. Tyreek Hill was uncoverable, and they were able to steal a cover. But usually Tom is laser sharp here and focused, and everyone knows that. So that's why that number is so tough right now. When you're getting 7.5, you think you're really getting 8 to 10, and if you're getting the Bucks at 6.5, the whole world's on that figure, and Tom and company is definitely going to cover that 7 points.
All right. So let's get down to our picks and plays for this one. And pretty much that's going to be the PT best bet is going to be the plus 7.5 on the Cowboys here. I'm just going to go ahead and play with that number right there. I'm not taking them to win the game or anything of that nature. I just say that they keep the game close, probably choke it off at the end like the Cowboys like to do in big games like this. And Dak and crew will have some confidence going into week 2, but they could possibly pull off a big upset, and that would be some nice money right there as well too. Now, Jeff, where are you going with this one?
I'm going to go the same. I'm going to take the hook with the 7.5 with the Cowboys. Hopefully, keep it within 7 or less. You can't get into a shootout here, and that's what I'm hoping. And which Tampa defense shows up? That playoff Tampa D, where they were the best in the business, or the one that's a little fat and a little Super Bowl hungover. The Cowboys cannot allow Tom to get off early. So if I'm the Cowboys, I look to ground and pound, get Zeke off, and then dink and dunk with Dak, and then try to stretch the field with Amari or CeeDee Lamb. But I think if they win the turnover battle, keep Dak upright, I think they definitely cover the 7.5 Pops.
All right, so there it is. And then let me not forget our graphic for this because I was supposed to do it in the beginning, but, I don't want to leave out our graphic guy. He's such an awesome dude. So, pretty much want to make sure you see the Thursday night football and everything like that. But let's go ahead and get into these Sunday early games as well, too. So I'm liking this, Jeff. These Sunday early games are going to be really, really fun. So pretty much up first, we got the Eagles at the Falcons. The Eagles coming in here plus 160, while the Falcons are 190. It's a plus 3.5 as well, too. It's actually supposed to be a minus 3.5, so I'm very sorry about that. Falcons are the favorite here in this game. And you know what? This game is a toss-em-up game because we want to trust the Falcons, but it's tough to trust the Falcons in any circumstance. I used to always go with the moniker since, when he was in the first half of his career, he was very successful at home a lot. Matt Ryan, and especially in opening games and things of that nature. But the way Atlanta opens up the season will tell you exactly where their season's going to go as well, too. They got a brand new head coach as well. They got a quarterback that's kind of fading right now. They got a good young wide receiver core, and all highlighted by a top end tight end, the highest ever drafted as well too. So there's going to be a lot of hype going into Atlanta's offense this year. But I think the Eagles actually have a good shot in this game, Jeff, to be honest with you, because Jalen Hurts has the dynamic of passing and running, but his running is absolutely exceptional as well too, and it can be a game changer as well too. So this is one of the better games on Sunday, even though on paper it doesn't look good roster wise, but for the bettors, this is a good game.
No, I agree too, and I could honestly be, if on either side here, without a doubt. I see the Eagles coming in almost a free swing here. You got Jalen Hurts, like you said. You got the rookie Devontae Williams, Devontae Smith, I'm sorry. And then Miles Sanders. Their defense, again, is one of these boomer bust defense. They'll go for that pick six. They take chances, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on Matt Ryan. And on the other side here, now Ridley is a number one. Kyle Pitts, the generational tight end, comes aboard, and that Atlanta defense has always been the one that's been their Achilles heel lately. Mike Davis will be the lead back. It's a lot of question marks on both sides here, Pops, and it's a true coin flip. Without a doubt, it's a 100% true coin flip.
And I think that, there's going to be other people that are going to get excited about Philly, and we'll probably get this a little bit lower than the 3.5 that we're looking at right now. I want to grab your plus 160 before Sunday as well, too, if you like the Eagles value on the straight up win. But let's talk real quick about the over under 48. I think this is absolutely going to be go over, to be honest with you. I know Philly has a really good defense. And I know the offense, was kind of, the offense was kind of, I'm not going to say mediocre, but they weren't that average. They were average when Hurts took over, and they didn't score as many points, but they did get a lot of good scenarios where it looked really good. But I think he was still just learning on the job at that point. Now he's taking ownership of this team, so now everything should work out in their favor as well, too. So pretty much I think that this will be a good look for them. Over 48 seems like the number to me, because it seems like Atlanta has no defense this year, because they were absolutely getting shredded up and down the field by the Browns. And I know that wasn't their first unit or anything like that, but still, Jeff, they were still getting whooped up and down the field, brother.
Yeah, it's one of those numbers. Again, it looks so enticing. Two offenses that are going to be able to move the ball, and so in my head, I'm saying, is it a 27, 24 game? Is it a 28-24 game? Where that 48, I'd be more comfortable taking the over if I saw a 51 here. When they're laying that 48, they're almost trying to bait you to say, because if you look at Philly, right, if Philly can get you 21. Actually, 24 is the key number. Can Philly get 24? If they do, they're going to either cover the spread or cover the over. So they're enticing you to take that over. I think they're spot on. I think it does get to 50-51 myself by the end of the game final score. So it is that enticing 48 number, Pops.
All right, and I think I gave away my hand too here, Jeff. I'm going Eagles money line here, plus 160, baby. You know what I mean? And you know what? I didn't really believe in the Eagles like that going into this preseason and everything. But when I read some things about Jalen and what he was doing with the team and everything like that, being a leader and, making sure guys are on point and on track of what they're doing. And really, once he was announced the starting quarterback, which we all knew was going to probably happen, pretty much he has the city behind him. He has the team behind him, and everything's kind of matriculating into a nice upset victory here in the A. So, Jeff, where are you going with yours?
He'll be the first time that we show the public what we like to do here. You did say it is the 3.5. We're not going to try to get scooched by the hook here. So we bought the hook here. We're taking the Falcons down to -3, minus the 120. If they win by 3, we kiss, hold hands, and we move on. But I'd hate to see Falcons win by 3 and have us losing by the hook. So you'll see a lot of times here where we'll either buy the hook, for the favorite or the dog, or we'll take the points out of play and play the money lines. So this will be our first game here. We're taking the Falcons. We bought the hook and minus 120, Pops.
All right, so there it is. And once again, I forgot the graphics, but I'm not going to forget now. But these are the early games, okay? Sunday early games. So you guys just know that all these games are for me at 10. Well, Jeff's going to be on the West Coast, so it's going to be a 10 a.m. start for all of us. I know Jeff loves that. Waking right on up and seeing 300 people in the line at the sports book. Yeah.
It's
going to be epic. All right, so we have Steelers at the Bills. The Steelers coming in. And Jeff, this is wild to me that the odds makers are setting this one up for a big letdown if you're a Bills fan, in my opinion. Even though I'm very confident in what the Bills can do and are going to do on Sunday. But at the end of the day, though, come on, dude, it's 6.5. And I know the Steelers and Bills played last year, but that was a close game as well, too, or a few years prior to that. But that was a very close game, and the Steelers still have Ben Roethlisberger. And they still have a bevy of receivers as well, too. But the one thing that they don't have, Jeff, is a running game that you can trust. Your thoughts?
I agree that the Bills are going to be one of these teams that all year their numbers I think are inflated. They come within one game of the Super Bowl. Everyone's in love with Josh Allen. They have the dream hookup with Diggs. They're playing at home, a real tough place to play. Which Steelers team's going to show up? The one that started 11-0, or the one that just faded and crashed in the end? So I think this number is a little inflated. I think, again, can Ben stretch the field? The 5-8 yard dink and dunks aren't going to pay off here today. What does Najee Harris do? Will they be able to have an effective running game? I think this number is a little too high myself, but we'll see in a few seconds. So.
All right. So pretty much real quick, over under 48.5. This will probably get bet heavily for the over because people are expecting the Steelers to have a good defense, but a defense that's probably not going to be up to the task right away. You know what I mean? But the Steelers are actually always a much better defense in the first half of the season than they are in the second half of the season. And I think that this right here is a little bit of should have probably been a lower number, but I think it's perfect as well too. I think the over is going to be a strong play, but what happens here is that the game goes under. That's what I'm looking at right now, Jeff. That's what I'm feeling like when it comes to this. Real quick.
Yeah, we talked last game on the 48. Now they're giving you the hint right here at 48.5. Vegas has got this one nailed at 27-21, 28-21. Again, do the Steelers get to 20, 21, or 24? That will be the ticket there. They're giving you the inkling that they are leaning towards the over. I think it'll be a back and forth game, slow first half. Each team will open it up in the second half, and I do a slight lean to the over there.
All right. So I'm going with this right here. I know I just said that this could be a letdown, but you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes when I think it's going to be a letdown, it goes and bites me in the butt. I think that the Bills, literally, I'm doing this as a confidence play in the Bills right now because I feel like if the Bills can go ahead and win this game by 10 or better, they're going to really establish themselves as one of the NFL elite teams for 2021. And that's what a lot of people see them as. They're a popular Super Bowl play as well, too, because they present a lot of value. So the Bills, I'm actually giving you the test and giving you the cosign that you're going to be a really good team this season. And it starts with beating down the Steelers week 1 at the old Orchard Park, at the old Ralph Wilson Stadium, now New Era Stadium. And hopefully we can keep the Bills in Buffalo as well, too.
For us, again, here's our second game here where we're looking, to take an advantage. We're trying to take a number and we're going to move it up. So we're here at the Steelers +7 minus the 120. So 8-10 beats us. So hoping again the Steelers keep it close, which we think that they will. If it does land on 7, which is a common and key number in the NFL and football, we'll get the push there as well. So we're spending the extra 10 cents. Steelers plus a touchdown. Let's go Steelers.
All right, so we move forward to the Vikings and the Bengals. The Vikings and the Bengals present a very peculiar matchup, but this kind of favors the Vikings very, very much. Even though they're minus 185, the Bengals are plus 150. You would have thought you probably would have got a higher number on the Bengals, which you will probably get on opening day as well, too, because I'm going to tell you like this. I can already see the Vikings being a very popular pick in sports books this weekend as well. But the thing is, though, I would say not too fast with that because you got a Bengals team that finished the last month of the season very hot. And then when I go into my notes and I look at what they did last season on covering, this was one of the better covering teams in the NFL last year, Jeff. They did a spectacular job of covering last year. Yeah, they only finished the season 4-11-1, but they finished up against the spread 9-6-1 last year, and actually were 9-5-1 as the underdog as well, too, Jeff. So, this team they've been the dog, and they understand being the dog in this situation. This is a loom of danger for people that have this idea that Minnesota is just supposedly supposed to dominate. So I would say this: you're probably going to get a really good first half from the Bengals, and then the Vikings might catch on late and beat them down. But this game is going to be tough to really stomach for a while if you're going to be backing the Vikings and things of that nature. And then the Bengals being plus 150 here is going to, have a lot of people excited about it. But I think at the end of the day, though, the spread should be the better play here. Jeff, thoughts?
Yeah, we took a look at both sides here. And again, I think what the general public has to look at is the fact that the Vikings came in a solid 3.5 point favorite on the road. So that means what they would be 6, 7, 8 point favorites at home. It is the home opener in the first game of the year, first game back for Joe. He's got a new binky now with Chase, and it's going to be interesting. They're going to have to get Mixon going early. They're going to have to keep Joe upright. I like a potential upset here. When I'm trying to find the value here, I think here's a good spot where home dog Joe Burrow and company, again, not a lot of people expecting them to win here, but I think they got a good shot.
Over under 48. I think the game goes under, to be honest with you. A lot of the openers Minnesota has played against, especially against teams that are in the AFC. I followed a lot of times Minnesota has played an AFC team to start the season. They really do pretty well, too, in that spot. But I think that the under will be a better play here. Jeff, real quick, because we do have to take our break in a second as well, too.
Yeah, this is a tough total again. Yeah, the Bengals defense is not good. Joe and company could come in and expect, hey, let's try to win a home game in a shootout type, and I don't think that's the way to go here. Again, does the Bengals get to that magical 24 number? If they do, they're going to either cover the spread or it's going to go over. So again, it's a tough number definitely to call. We're on the fence there, Pops.
All right. So pretty much this is going to be my play, and I know I sound very contradictive, but the thing is, though, I do trust the Vikings a bit more here. I think the Vikings win this game by 4 or better, because I just really feel like what's going to happen here is the Bengals a fast start, but then they're going to wind up shooting themselves in the foot on in the game. Can overcome, or the Vikings can just absolutely dominate. I know that I'm kind of, I kind of put them down a little bit, but you know what? This is to rise you up. And once again, this is another confidence play to say, okay, the Vikings, you guys should be able to win this game and cover as well, too. So if you're able to do all that good stuff, then I look good. If you don't do all that, then I look bad. But at least I threw it out there to start it off. Jeff, what is your play for this game?
Yeah, we're going to take a swing here. We're going to take the plus 150. We're going to take the opportunity for the Bengals to get their first win. And it'd be a nice way for them to start, and it'd be a real tough blow for Minnesota, especially. The 3.5 does look appetizing. Anyone taking the Bengals and the money line here, if you want that saver, put a little sprinkle on the plus 3.5. So if they lose by 3 or less, at least you're covering the money line. But we see the value here with the Bengals plus the 150, Pops.
And there it is. Jeff is giving you a dog right there, plus 150. I'm going with the favorite here, so we're on opposite sides. So we'll see who the winner is at the end of the day, Sunday. All right. So with that, we will be right back with the NFL Bet Exchange.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, with the NFL Bet Exchange, and boy, oh boy, let's go ahead and jump into a game that's going to be where people feel like it's going to be one-sided, and I don't think that's going to be the case. This is going to be the 49ers at the lowly Lions. I don't know how many times we walked into this scenario with the Lions opening day in Detroit, and you know what? One thing we all do know, Detroit steps it up every opening day that they play in downtown Detroit. And it's always seems like they flop the game out at the last minutes of the game. You know, Matt Stafford, getting stalled out at the goal line or something of that nature. But when I look at this, I see a plus 7.5 on a home team that actually, to me, has been upgraded. As I keep telling you, Jeff, I think I might be the only person that believes in Jared Goff more than Jared Goff believes in himself. I just say this because Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff won that playoff game for them as well, too. All it is that McVay wants to be cocky and he wants to go ahead and, show that he can do it without a Goff, and that you bring me this big time Pro Bowl quarterback that's never done anything in the NFL but just be a stat stuffer, then possibly he can get us to a Super Bowl. Winning a Super Bowl, that's a different story though, Jeff. But what I'm sticking to though here, I like the Lions. I know a lot of people don't like the head coach and things of that nature, but I love his spirit though. He's always been a good spirited coach, and I really do think that the Lions do have a good shot here because the 49ers got some quarterback confusion. Jeff, your thoughts?
I'll go back last year. There was a team called the Colts with the new quarterback Phillip Rivers that went into Jacksonville, 7.5-point favorites, and the Jags, shocked the world. This game here, no one's talking about Goff. No one's talking about the Lions. They're the redheaded stepchild. Unfortunately, they got to play. And again, this is an inflated line leaning towards the Niners, and I'm going to contradict myself here as this gets closer. But the 49ers better become ready to play football. If they think that they're already in the NFC Championship, the NFC West champs, well, they got a long way to go there. I think it's a great matchup for the 49ers. I really do, if they come ready to ball. But no one's talking Lions, Pop. No one.
All right. So with that, we don't have to talk too much about the over-under. It's 46. I think that quite possibly this goes under because San Francisco's defense, if they show up the way that they show up, then this game should be a low-scoring game. But this game, that would probably be more in the favor of the Niners winning if the game does stay low. But Jared Goff knows these guys. And I think Jared Goff, I know he's had his problems with the 49ers when he was with the Rams and everything. But this is a big, hey, don't forget about me type of game, in my opinion. And that's why I'm rolling so hard with the Lions here. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions with the plus 7.5 here. And I think that this is a very good bet. I think it's a strong bet because they're putting way too many points on a 49er team that still has a lot of questions, in my opinion, Jeff. Where are you going with this?
We bought the hook here. We took the 49ers down to the 7 minus the 120. As long as they win by 7 or more, we at least push, if not win the game. That number of 46 is kind of telling us they got the 49ers in that 27-20 range. I think Detroit will probably score 17 or less. So we're pretty comfortable here with the 49ers minus the 7. But again, you got to show up, and that's the one thing I hope Coach has them ready to play. But we're strong with the Niners here.
All right, good stuff, Jeff. We move forward to our next game. The Cards at the Titans. This is going to be another game that's going to be heavily bet too, I feel like, on Sunday. But they're going to be scoreboard watching this game. Everybody's going to really want to play the points here, where overs and unders, in my opinion. But I think this is still a good betting game. You got a Titans team, high octane offense, possibly. You got a Cards team with a high octane offense, possibly. As long as everybody can stay healthy, stay in good spirits with each other as well, too, we should have some good things going on. When you look at the Cardinals, you got Larry Fitzgerald, you got A.J. Green, you got Kyler Murray, and then pretty much you got a the offensive line is the question mark, but then you got a pretty good defense there as well too. And the Cardinals, as I keep saying, the Cardinals' only downfall is the poor coaching that they have. And I've always mentioned this, Jeff. And then the Titans, in a sense, they have a strong coach, but I don't know if they can get out their own way though. At the same time, Tannehill is a very good quarterback, but I wouldn't call him elite. You know what I mean? There's ways to really get him flustered and get him, out of his game. And if the Cards can figure out a way, this game could be much closer than it looks on paper. But I like the Titans a lot here, and they always play well at home to start the season as well too. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
It's a game where again, you're hitting the right spots here in our eyes. But with that being said, it's a Cardinals team with Kyler with another year, under his belt. He's got D-Hop. He, added Rondell Moore from Purdue. Their running game, again, they added James Conner. Defensively, they lose Chandler Jones. That has always been their weak point there. But we're real high on Arizona this year. Big year, I think, for Kyler Murray. Anyone listening here that wants to grab a little Kyler Murray MVP numbers, they're giving you some good odds there. I think you can get them plus 1,500 or better out here on the Vegas Strip. But again, I think the Cardinals, if they win the turnover battle, keep Derrick Henry in check somewhat, I think they got a good shot here, Pups.
All right, so there it is. We got the over-under of 51. Actually, sorry about that. It's blank, but thing is that was kind of on me. So we'll just skip out on that, and we'll talk about where we're going. I got the Titans money line minus 155. I'm going to spend a little bit of extra change, but I think that it's going to work out in the end because I think this game comes down to the final seconds as well, too. This might be the most exciting game come Sunday at the end at 1 o'clock after we get done with the morning games, in my opinion, Jeff. What are your thoughts and where are you going with this one?
Yeah, we're going to take a swing here. We like the value with the Cards here, plus the 130 on the money line. Again, win the turnover battle, keep Henry in check. Don't go in there, because this could be a classic shootout with Tannehill and Murray. Anything you can do, I can do better. First one to 28 or 30 or 31 gets the win here. As long as they keep it in check, I think we got a good live dog here with Kyler Murray and company plus the 130 Pups.
All right, so there it is. Jeff is going with the doggy dog, and I'm going with the favorite. So we move forward to our next game, Seahawks at the Colts. You got the Seahawks coming in here minus 150, while the Colts are plus 130 at home. And this team was a team that only lost 5 games last season, and they lost 2 games to one team. They had a really good season that nobody liked to talk about last year with the Colts. And I know that, you look at it, Carson Wentz is going to start Sunday, but he inherits a team that was pretty good with Phillip Rivers as well, too. I would say that they were just a little bit better than the team he just left, the Eagles. But he has guys over there. It's a different unit. It's cohesive. He has a coach he's very comfortable with. A lot of people will probably jump all over that, but I ain't taking no chances with a quarterback that's been out the last month with his foot hurting. And the Seahawks are so good on opening day, especially on the road. Russell Wilson should be very happy about Dwayne Brown getting his contract yesterday because that's what he was, pretty much campaigning for Dwayne Brown as well, too. He was kind of upset about that situation. Now the Seahawks are fully focused on the task at hand, and I really like what I see going into Sunday with the Seahawks. Jeff, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago, we were talking the fact that Wentz is going to be out, the offensive lineman's going to be out now miraculously. They're both supposedly going to be playing. A Seahawks team that does travel well, a Seahawks team that comes usually out of the gates guns a-blazing. I definitely lean Seahawks here. But again, the Colts, home dog, very, very sneaky. I want to just add this quick piece here is the fact that when Wentz and the offensive linemen were out, everyone was pounding the window of the Titans to win this division, Well, the number didn't move that much, so don't sleep on the Colts here. I think they'll have a rocky first game here, but I think as this season progresses with Taylor back there, with Wentz getting his sea legs, they're going to be a dangerous opponent, Pups.
All right, and I like it. I like it a lot. And real quick, we got a 48.5 over and under here. I think that this game with both defenses, the way that they work, I think that this game actually is a more low scoring game than anything. I think it finishes up possibly like 21-17 or something of that nature, Jeff, or 24-21, something like that. But I don't see this being a firefight or anything of that nature. So that's what I'm looking at here with the over under 48.5. Real quick.
Yeah, I think they got this spot on. 24-24 field goal late. Does it go over? 24-23, 24-21, something like that. Again, the team that wins the turnover battle here, I think, will be your winner, Pops.
All right, so we move on to where are we picking, and I guess I gave mine away a bit early, Jeff. So I'm taking the -2.5 with the Seahawks. I think that they're good for a 3-point win or better, and yeah, I like it, and I really, really like it. I'm telling you, I'm channeling New Edition right now.
We paid up here. we didn't want to get beat by an extra point miss or, a 24-23 game, something of that nature. So we paid up for Russ and company minus the 150. Just win, baby. Just win.
All right, there it is. So we are on the same side with this one with the Seahawks, and we move forward to our next game. It is going to be a game that all of us can get a good kick out of. Jets at the Panthers. Jets coming in plus 180. Panthers are minus 225 and minus 4.5. Now, you know what, Jeff? On usual Sundays, knowing me, I would say, you know what, this is way too much money this is way too high of a spread for the Panthers right here. You know what I mean? For a team that didn't perform well last season. But they had moments, though. They did have moments, though, where they showed that they could be they could compete, not a contender, that they can compete. And I like what the Panthers are doing in the second year with Rule, and I think that this is going to be the Sam Darnold, hey, you should have never gave up on me so quickly game. And I think that the kid Wilson, he's been, getting all the props in the world, but now let's go walk into reality. This isn't BYU anymore, and you ain't playing against UTSA no more. Okay, this is real, and I know you looked really good last year, but when you had the game where you had to perform at your absolute best, Coastal Carolina, he absolutely was terrible that day. So that's what I kind of judge guys on when we move forward to the NFL. You know what I mean, Jeff? So if you played against Alabama and they wrecked you, then you're not really an NFL type player. And when you get losing to Coastal Carolina, it's like, wow. I'm not saying he's not an NFL player or anything, but I think that the scouts and everything got a little bit too excited with this guy, and possibly he's going to have to prove a lot over the next over the season, pretty much, and in the coming weeks. So I really like where they're going with their program, the Panthers. So I like this game, man. I think this game is going to be a good one. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, first thing that jumps out again is the Sam Darnold a revenge game. I too love where Rule's going with this team. This defense is going to be sneaky this year, so keep an eye on them. McCaffrey's back. Love the rookie there, Terrence Marshall. I think he's going to do big things there to add to DJ Moore. He was with Coach Brady, the OC at LSU, so I'm looking for big things here. I really think the Panthers are set up here for a big, dominating opening day win here.
And that's why the over-under is so low as well, too, because they're expecting maybe probably a 30-10 blowout or something of that nature. But I don't see the Jets getting blown out that bad, but I don't see them being within a touchdown either, though, in this game. I think that the Panthers will just overwhelm them, and it's going to be more of a defensive effort than anything. And that's why I'm picking the Panthers at minus 4.5. And I think that this is the better bet here than chasing the money line, because if they're supposed to win, then they should win by a touchdown or better. And that's my sentiments right here with the best bet on the 4.5 with the Panthers. Jeff, your thoughts?
I agree. Also, we didn't fool around here. We left it at 4.5. Once in a while, I will buy the hook here down to 4, but we're feeling comfortable with a touchdown or better win for the Panthers here. So we rolled Panthers minus 4.5 as well, Pups.
All right. So there it is. Jeff has the 4.5 as well, too. And with that, we will be right back with the NFL Bet Exchange. So stay right where you at. We'll be right back.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained two-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we're back with the NFL Bet Exchange, and Jeff, this is probably the game that will not get a lot of dollars on it. To be honest with you, I know it's a number one draft picks debut, and I know it's a legendary college coach's debut as well too. But I don't think that matters to bettors, to be honest with you, because this is a danger game for bettors. Because if you're going with the idea that Jaguars are going to just dominate the Texans because the Texans have been the whooping boy for all media and, you know, having all their issues and everything like that. Everybody seems to be offended by everything the Texans have done all summer long. Okay. And since Bill O'Brien was there taking them I just didn't understand the Bill O'Brien situation. You win the division every year, you go to the playoffs every year. What do you expect? This is Houston. You shouldn't be expecting the Super Bowl, okay? You know, but you did get yourself a quarterback that could possibly lead you to one, but he's not available right now. But you know what I love about this game is that you got a coach that nobody particularly cares for. They think that he's going to be a flop. And then he is going to entrust one of the best stories and one of the saddest stories in the NFL, Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is a guy that played for years with the Ravens, and he was a very, very feasible backup. And now he's walked around in the NFL, and he's been a bridge quarterback for several rookies over the past few years as well, too. And I think that, you know, he got a bad break last year with San Diego with the punctured lung right before the game. And I think that he's going to have the big revenge moment that, you know, that we all love in week one. And he's going to be the toast of week one. And I'm just going to go ahead and just show my hand now. I love the Texans coming in Sunday because this is exactly how they treated the Washington football team last year. And they wound up whooping up on the Eagles opening day with a similar type spread.
I 100% agree. Watson will never play another down in Texas. He will be a healthy scratch until they find out a trade, or they just eventually say, hey, we're going to trade you in the offseason to get some draft picks. In come the Jags, Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. They lose ETN. A team that actually looked pretty good against the 2s and 3s their last preseason game against Dallas. But I love the spot here for the Texans. Again, Tyrod Taylor has been in this position before. No respect. No one likes him. A running back situation with Lindsey, with Ingram, with David Johnson. They have Nico Collins at wide receiver. There's a lot of question marks. And again, not that the Texans aren't going to be playing for the first pick in the draft this year. I'm not saying that, but they're in a great, great spot this week at home. No one expects them to win. And I, too, we are definitely on the right side here, Pops.
All right. So, and then we see the over-under at 45. I think that this one will probably be one that could go over as well, too. And it could be the safer bet here if you don't want to pick a side. But as I said before, my play in this game is going to be the Texans money line plus 130. And I love it. I love it. And it will be a part of probably the underdog ticket that I usually play on Sundays as well, too. So you guys be ready because we still got another show going Sunday with that pick 6 and that dog pick 4, or that late pick 4 for you. You know what I mean? This is just the dessert. This is the meal. You know what I mean, Jeff? So that's what I'm looking at, plus 130, Jeff. And your thoughts are on the same page, right? With the Texans money line play. So me and Jeff are identical, but we looking like DeVito and Schwarzenegger right now. Twins. You know what I mean?
No, we like the spot
yeah.
here. The Rodney Dangerfield, no respect. We like a good spot here for the Texans, not only to cover the game, but again, we're taking them plus the 130. And at your books here, they're all going to be different as well. When you're playing these dogs at plus 130 or better, and you're getting points like this one, if you're getting 3.5, again, you can split it up, play a half unit on the money line, play a half unit on the spread, just to be a saver. Again, we're here to educate. We try to entertain, give you a few smiles, but our bottom line here is to put some money in your pocket. So yes, we are on the plus 130, but if they're giving you, plus 3.5 and you want a little saver there, we second that as well.
All right. So we move on to our next game. Is going to be the LA Chargers, really the San Diego Chargers by way of LA, but with the Washington football team. And the Washington football team, find a name already. Jeez Louise, dude. It's 2 years in already. Find a name. Jesus. The Generals, Senators, something. You know what I mean? But all in all, this game is one of the toughest games to bet because you don't know where to go. You got a Chargers team, you're expecting offense. You got a Washington team, you're expecting defense. And I think what happens here is that you have yourself a game where you can go either way and feel confident in your play. Even if it doesn't work out for you, you're just stuck in a situation where you have no idea who's going to win this game for real. You know what I mean? But if you want to lean towards somebody actually winning the game, it will probably be the Chargers because they're coming in with the younger and better quarterback. But then you say you can't sleep on Washington because this guy, Chase Young, could possibly be the NFL MVP this year, how good he is. So what are your thoughts, Jeff? I'm perplexed. What are your thoughts?
I slept on the Washington football team last year and was, burnt a few times. Defense does win championships. They have an amazing defense. They truly do. And then they bring in Fitzmagic, which you're going to get a handful of great games, and then you're going to get a handful of clunkers. I love what they can do on the offensive side of the ball. I love Antonio Gibson. I am a huge McLaren fan. I think they're a team that, again, is in the perfect situation because they're in the NFC East. Okay, if Fitzmagic can tone it down this year and let his defense dictate, I think they're going to be the team to catch in the East this year. And the Chargers, listen, what can you say about Herbert last year? Phenomenal. And their defense, when healthy, Bozer and company, great defense. You're expecting a lot here from the Chargers opening week here. And I think, we'll find out our side here. How's that sound?
All right. So pretty much where I'm going with this one, I'm going to go with the team that, pretty much I trusted last year, week 1, and everybody looked at me crazy like, Washington? Yeah, Washington. I love Washington this game. Plus 100. Give it to me. That plays plus money. It's all good. You put up 100, you make 100.
Yeah, it's funny here because we took the plus 1 point minus the 110, and people would say, Jeff, why'd you do that? Well, again, it's a decision where, and it doesn't happen often, but if the final score is 24-23, at least we get the push if they do lose. So when you're in this predicament here, if you want the plus money, not a problem. Go get a Washington football team to win the game and take the plus even money. And if we're taking the plus 1 minus 110 here again, just in case that missed extra point, 21-20, 24-23, at least we push and we move on. So we did take the plus 1 here, but anyone that wanted the plus 100 and them to win the game, absolutely no problem there as well.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the late games, Jeff. And Sunday late games. They're going to be fun, Jeff. We got up first the guys in your neck of the woods, the Patriots, Patriots. It's gonna be a riot. Yeah, the riots. Take off the PAT. You got the riots. So it was a riot when they found out Mac Jones was going to be the starter because now he has the sold out jersey, the number one selling jersey, and all of the Northeast and everything like that. So the hype is on with the rookie, and I don't think they've been this hyped for a rookie ever in New England. So we'll see how it goes with this, but you know what? The Dolphins seem to be a very, very fun team going into the season once again, like they were last year. And they are saying good things about Tua and everything like that. But I think Mac Jones has the better situation here. You got Bill Belichick coaching you. You're going to be at home opening day as well, too. You got your defense back as well. I think that the Patriots will protect their house, have themselves a good victory. I think the Dolphins will go on with a lot of hype and a lot of people saying the Dolphins should win this game, and they wind up flopping, Jeff. What are your thoughts?
I agree. Again, there is a lot of hype. We're glad to see Mac Jones. Cam is now left the building, and it's Mac's turn. And it's a tough game. And this game sets up where the winner of this one can stick out their chests because it's a divisional game. Now, Brian Flores is just building and building and building. Not a lot of talk about Tua, and he's got his binky now with Waddle. They have some great offensive weapons there, and now they're coming into Bill, where Bill now has his guy. So I think there's a lot more pressure on the Patriots and putting Mac into the right situations. And who wins the turnover battle? I know I say that a lot here, but if Mac comes out and throws 2 picks, fumbles, and next thing short fields for Tua and company, it's going to be a long, long day. So it's a big game for both sides here, Pops.
I agree. And you know where I'm going, Jeff? I'm taking the Pats -2.5. I think the Pats win this game by a touchdown or better. I think what happens here is that the Pats do what they usually do. They dominate very early in this game and they hold on. You know what I mean? But they hold on in a good fashion. You know what I mean? Bill is going to eat up that clock in the fourth quarter. They should have a 10-point lead, in my opinion, how I see the game setting up. And, hopefully we can just get this 2.5 and not have to sweat it out because I didn't want to spend -150 on the Pats. I would much rather trust them to cover the game. So that's where I'm going with this one, with the 2.5 on the Pats. Jeff, where are you going?
We paid up here. We're in the situation, just win, baby. I'd hate to lose by an extra point, a 24-23 game, anything like that. So again, here we'll spend a little more and we'll give out the -150 with Pat and Bill just winning. And again, it's going to be a close game. You're getting the COVID defense guys back. We paid for some offensive weapons with Bourne, with the 2 tight ends, with Henry, with Jonnu Smith. I'm expecting a fired up crowd here, and I think the Pats find a way to win, Pops.
All right. So we move forward, and we have the Packers at the Saints. This would have been a bigger game if Drew Brees was still in the league, but this game is so bad for the Saints right now because the Saints have not been in their friendly confines in New Orleans. They haven't been at their training facility. They're not going to have access to the Superdome either. They had to play this game in Jacksonville. The game would have been much better for them playing indoors. This game favors the Packers now since they are outdoors. But this game always had the Packers written all over it because they don't have Drew Brees here. And a lot of people know that, Aaron Rodgers is going to walk into this game with his cocky self and try to, have some big moments and everything like that. But I think with the way Aaron Rodgers acted this summer, it might be a little bit of a headache to start this game as well, too. If you're an offensive lineman who's over there getting your butt kicked every day, and then this guy shows up second day of training camp, lollygag, I'm Aaron Rodgers and I'm a superstar, I'm a diva and all this stuff, you might not want to block for him. I don't know. It happens sometimes. But all in all, though, this shit looks like it is a Packers. This might be one of your locks, in a sense, if you like the Packers a lot here. But you know what? The Saints could play with a lot of energy because the way their situation has been working out. But I think, though, this will be a bad spot for them, just like it was 10, 12 years ago when they had to play in New York for the home opener when Katrina happened. So that's my thoughts. What are you thinking, Jeff?
Again, tough spot. We've been down on the Packers the last 2 years, and it hasn't proven well. My thoughts about Rodgers being that diva, it just gets sickening in my eyes, is the fact that enough's enough, guy. Listen, you had the whole world. You were supposed to, you were at home last year, and what Tom do? And you had the ball 3 times to win the game or tie the game up and failed. And now you want to, you want more money. It's your show, yada, yada, yada. So, again, tough spot for the Saints. I think now life without Drew will be a struggle. Which Winston shows up? Is it pick six Winston, or is it the one that's going to grab the bull by the horns here and say, hey, guys, I can take you to that promised land? I'll say it again. Who wins this turnover battle will win this game.
Gotcha. And this is where I'm going with mine, Jeff. I'm going Packers here. I think the Packers should be an absolute gem here opening day. I think that they absolutely whop the Saints. I think that Jameis, you do well. It'll look good. But I think that Jameis will have a bigger game in week 2 than he will week 1. I think the pressure might catch up with him here. So that's why I'm going with the Packers. They're just comfortable here in this situation. Jeff, your thoughts?
We bought the hook here. We got the Saints up to 3.5 here. We're hoping they can keep it within a field goal or less. I hope Jameis leans on Kamara here. Don't try to be that hero. Michael Thomas will be out for the first 5 to 6 weeks. They got Callaway. They have a couple other wide receivers there that hope to make an impact. Traycon Smith, but again, you're going to have to lean on Kamara, and the defense is going to have to play big. They're going to have to put pressure on Rodgers here. Again, we didn't want that to land on 3. We bought the hook 3.5. So as long as they can keep it within a field goal or less, we're happy. So Jameis, no pick 6 tomorrow on Sunday, please.
All right. So with that, we will be right back with our final commercial break. And when we get that back, we'll be breaking down our final 2 late games, and then we'll be talking Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. So you guys stay tuned to the NFL Bet Exchange.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are back, and this was a Super Bowl that was played back in the day in my home city of Pasadena, California, at the Rose Bowl. And this was Bill Parcells' coming of age moment as well, too, and Bill Belichick as well. You know what I mean? And pretty much, another team that had 2 head coaches in a sense. You know what I mean? There's one side that loves Bill, and then there was another side that loved Bill P. So you know how it goes, Jeff. But let's talk about today. I'm over here reminiscing, going right down J Street and stuff like that. So Broncos minus 145 coming in this one. Giants are plus 120. We all know why. The quarterback is suspect here, Jeff. But I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a Sunday Jersey special in the after. When they play in the evenings, New York plays a little different, because the fans are just a little bit more drunker at that point of the day, and they're getting a little bit more louder at that point of the day as well, too. They've been sitting around wanting to watch football for the last 10 hours. They had to sit there and watch all the morning shows and all the pregame shows, and your game starts at 4 o'clock. And I really truly do think the Giants have a good shot here, Jeff, to be honest with you. Saquon Barkley is said to be a go, and I think that he has a lot of frustration to put out on the Broncos, but the Broncos' Achilles heel here is going to be the defense. If the defense shows up, the Giants are in trouble. But if the defense has some issues, Daniel Jones could probably take advantage of that and help his team get to a nice victory here. And that's what I'm kind of baiting on right now. Jeff, what are your thoughts on this game?
All about the quarterback play, all about Barkley. He's got some new shiny toys with Galladay. He has some weapons on the wide. Ingram is questionable as usual. Defensively, the bend don't break. I don't think the Broncos are going to come in and, put up 27, 28, 30 points here. So if you can play the keep away game, get Barkley active, get him in open space, dink and dunk with your wideouts, and the defense, again, you can play that bend, don't break, 20 to 20, allow a few field goals. I think it's a great spot for the Giants, and it's a well-needed, let's start 1-0. Let's not start the season 0-5, 0-6, and then, already talking about, first set, top 3 pick in the draft or something. This is a game that they have to take advantage of, and I think they'll be ready for the task.
All right. You guys heard it there from Jeff. So we move on, and let's go ahead and see where we're going with this one. And as I said before, I'm going to rock with the Giants plus 120 here, Jeff. I think that this is a good play. This is a home team, home dog. I think that this works out for us. It's really hard for me to trust Daniel Jones, but I trust Barkley. I think Barkley's going to have himself one of those comeback games where everybody's going to be like, wow, he's so good. He's so great. He's so this. He's so that. And then, hopefully we'll keep him healthy for the rest of the year as well, too. The guy has some real injury woes. I just think because maybe he might work out a little bit too hard in a sense as well, too. You know what I mean? But it's all good. Derrick Henry does the same workout, and he seems to be okay. All right. So, Jeff, what are your thoughts? Where are you going with this?
Same here. I'm not going to take a shot with the points. We like the opportunity here to get plus 120, home team, home dog, home opener. And it all adds up to the Giants. Again, Daniel Jones, win the turnover battle. Give the ball to Barkley. Open space, dink and dunk. Don't try to force it. And I look for the defense for the Giants to be sneaky. And I think this is a great opportunity for Judge and company to start the season 1-0 Pups.
All right, now we move on to the feature game of the afternoon. And you know what, Jeff? You know what time it is, right? The dog bet of the week. Yay. Yippee. Ki-yay. All right. Browns plus 210. Chiefs minus 275. I'm going to be quick here because I'm going over time. Browns, big upset Sunday. They're going to make what's his name really feel like, the Super Bowl nightmare is not over. Mr. Mahomes, Mr. I am the NFL. I am the face of the league. I'm this, I'm that. But pretty much, if things have been handed to you, the entitled one, as I like to call them. So pretty much, I think the Browns come in here with their team, and they get a big revenge moment from what happened last year in the playoffs when they let him off the hook, Jeff. They let him off the hook. You know that. There's no way the Chiefs was supposed to win that game. And they did. You know what I mean? Because they had a good team, but come on, man. Chad Henne was out there literally losing the game for him and gets a lucky 20-yard scamper because of bad defense. You know what I mean? So luck really played into that game. I think that the Browns have figured out something, and the Browns aren't scared to really go after Mahomes. They don't do the I'm gonna shake your hand and you my buddy and all this stuff after they sack him. You know what I mean? So I'm crazy, Jeff, and I'm gonna be crazy on Sunday. Give me that 210 money line, brother. What are your thoughts on this?
Listen, I think the Browns this is a perfect spot for them in regards to the fact that, again, they're on the road. This is free money. This is a free swing. And again, if Baker plays the smart game, he's got Chubb that's going to run for a lot here. He's got Hunt as a third down passing back. He's got weapons on the wide, and he's got a defense that's going to put pressure on Mahomes. I think they come in, they play ground control. They don't try to come in and say first one to 31 or 34 wins this game. they're in a great spot. And I didn't go as crazy as you and take the money line. We stayed with the Browns plus the 6 here. I like the spot for them very, very much here, Pops.
Well, I'm a little nutty like that. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still in the game, baby. Taking crazy shots, taking crazy chances. Just like a gambler at 2:00 in the morning in the middle of the casino playing blackjack. Hit me on 15. I'll never do that though. maybe, just maybe, because you might get a 6. You might get a 6, Jeff, but never hit on a 16. Just don't do that. Just take the loss if it's going to be a loss. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we are Sunday night. It is ready for some Sunday night football. We got a big old party. You already know it's going to be a big old party in the books too, Jeff, on Sunday night. We'll have some LA people there as Rams fans, but it will be a bear down situation in every sports book in Vegas when this game comes on. You can go ahead and book that because people don't understand this. There's a lot of fans from all over the country that reside in Las Vegas. They're not all Raider fans. And Chicago has a deep backing in Vegas as well. There's a lot of Chicago people in Vegas, Jeff, because Chicago, believe it or not, y'all, it's a bookie town too. It's a gambling town as well, so pretty much that's where I got a lot of my first little lessons at in the game as well too. So pretty much shout out to Chicago, shout out to my man Big George. So it's all good. So pretty much we got plus 275. Rams are debuting the beautiful SoFi Stadium. Oh my God, Jeff. It's gonna be absolute. It's gonna be a party. It's a party. I'm telling you, it's gonna be. Hopefully they don't get too high strung and too overlook the fact that they got to play a football game. But I think the Rams are okay. The Rams might be one of the Rams I feel are a lock for this week as well too. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
You nailed this one again. Everyone knows where the Rams are, and Coach got his quarterback now, and he is so excited. And it's a defense. I mean, no one can stop Donald. We know that, and supposedly Andy's the sacrificial lamb. They don't want to reveal their new toy with Justin Fields, so Andy's here to take that beating. And the whole world, all the books. I mean, it's going to be Rams, and more Rams. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep it close. I don't think so, but we'll find out in a second.
And you know what happens here, Jeff? They really going to have a big game from Khalil Mack if they even think about being in this one. They're going to need to have him do a couple strips, things of that nature. Only thing that works out with the Bears is that they know Stafford, but this isn't the Lions anymore. So it's a different situation. And he actually dominated the Bears in the first game of the season last year. It was just the defense that kind of stopped playing at the end. So, I'm going with the Rams minus 7.5. I think the Rams might get your biggest blowout this weekend as well, too, because they're just going to be very, very excited to play in front of this crowd. They were so good at home last year in front of an empty crowd. And last year when they played the Bears, it was absolutely a dominating performance as well, too. And then when you're throwing this guy out here, Andy Dalton, I really think that you're handing the game to the Rams because you're not believing in your I feel like you're not believing in your rookie quarterback who's supposed to be your savior. He should be starting from day one. There shouldn't even be a question about it, Jeff. So where are you going with this one?
We bought the hook here. We got a flat 7. I think this should be a double-digit win for the Rams, but it gets kind of nerve-wracking because you're going to see after the full Sunday slate, the whole world's going to be here. And you know what happens when the whole world's on this. Sunday night games especially, it's favorites and overs. That's what the public plays. We've been looking at this line for 6-7 weeks now. And again, I think the reason why Justin is not starting is because of Donald. Listen, we would like to see Justin in week 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, and so on. So let Andy take his licks. That offensive line for the Bears is suspect at best. So I look for the Rams early and often. I look for a big, big win for them. Should be double digits or more. But just to save ourselves, we spent the extra 10 cents and Rams minus 7.
All right. And I'm going to tell you like this right now, Jeff. I'm telling you now, I think that this one is actually going to be like literally Nagy's final season if they can't get over at least 7 wins this year. I just think that he's putting his butt on the line with doing this right now. You know what I mean? And if the Bears are to struggle this year, they'll fire him mid-season. I guarantee it.
I agree.
Enough is enough with Nagy because you already lost your quarterback, Trubisky. You blame everything on him, even though he wasn't really the problem. So, this is it's a put up or get the hell out the room situation for what's called you just put up or shut up. But I want to just add extras on here or get the hell out of Chicago situation if you don't step it up.
Agreed.
All right. And I know my boy, I know the voice of the NFL Bet Exchange who does the intro and outro, big Bears fan himself, Ray Flores. I know he will agree with that. All right, so final destination, Jeff, and it's a fun one. It's gonna be Monday Night Football, and I'm ready for a party. We got it used to be we got Al and Mike, and I miss that one. You know what I mean? I miss Al Michaels on Monday Night Football, but it's all good. We get him on Sunday nights. Oh, Chris Collinsworth. Mr. Computer Nerd. And he did this and he did that. All right, man. And as bad as he talks about some of the NFL players, I'm just like, why isn't anybody really came over there and corrected him on some of this stuff? You know what I mean? But it's all good. If you're not named Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger or somebody that top tier of quarterbacks, he really doesn't think you're a good player. But I digress. You know what? Vegas, I'm taking a shot. I'm rolling the dice. I'm playing some Russian roulette. I love the Raiders in this spot. I think Lamar is going to be kind of slow to get started because the COVID situation and everything like that. And they kind of took things easier with him during this offseason. And I think that the film is out on Lamar Jackson. And I think that the Bills gave us the greatest film of all for him as well, too. Now, it's up to the Raiders defense to show up. That's the thing, Jeff, because, this Raiders defense is so suspect. They've had moments where they've looked like world beaters, you know what I mean, where they could beat anybody with that defense. Then there's some days where the Raiders just look like a Pop Warner team that just learned how to play football on the defensive side. You know what I mean? Poor tackling, not enough pressure on the quarterback, and just bad miscues and coverage. You know what I mean? So the Raiders defense has to be the calling card for this game for them to even think about being in this game. Jeff, your thoughts?
How crazy the mind works. Okay, back in the glory days, this was an automatic layup. I mean, home dog, prime time, getting points, money line, and it was an automatic. But the times have changed. So we were just talking 5 minutes ago that the Bears have no shot. Coming into LA, 6.5, 7-point dogs. Now, I'm the same way as you here. Home crowd, Allegiant, that place is going to be electric. And ask the Saints last year when they came in there week 2 and took a whooping here. I'm with you here, okay? But I'm a little nervous because I think Lamar and company, even though they lost J.K. Dobbins, okay, and their defense is suspect, they have that mentality that when they taste blood and you're down, they can just step on you. And it's one of these games that I'm going to be following your lead here, but it's one of these games that if Carr makes a mistake here and next thing you know, short field, it's a dangerous spot for them. That's my point here, but I'll be rolling with you, brother.
All right, and where I'm rolling to is going to be the +6.5 Raiders. It's your home debut in front of your people as well too. Even though it might be a half of a stadium after what Mark did with the vax situation. So but you know what he did though. You know what though? At the end of the day, people are mad about it. But what Mark Davis is doing is he's really pretty much regulating on the riffraff that happens at Raider games, and you don't want that ugliness the first day you're there. You know what I mean? And I think that's it. When I think about it all in all, I think it's the smartest decision he's made for the franchise, one of his top 3 decisions, because he doesn't make really good decisions for this franchise, but he made a good decision there. And I love the Raiders in the spot plus 6.5. I know I'm gambling right here. I know I'm taking risks, but that's why I'm the primetime capper, baby. All right, Jeff, where are you going with this?
We did the same thing. We bought the hook here. We got it up to that flat 7. Raiders keep it within a touchdown. And I'll just end and close with this here. Plus 180. Pizza and beer money, we like to say here at ECSI. Listen, nothing wrong with taking a swing here with the home dog. Allegiant Stadium, opening first regular season game. Why not have a little fun with it? But we bought the hook. We got the Raiders plus the 7, a little pizza and beer on the plus 180. Go Raiders, go.
And there it is. The first show of the year is done, and we did not go over too much like we usually do. You know what I mean? We only went 15 minutes over this week, but we did. This was a show we wanted to start off, introduce ourselves and everything like that. But there it is. That is week 1 for you, Jeff. Final thoughts.
Hey, listen, guys, we're going to be here for 18, 19, 20 weeks here, okay? Please join us and stay with us. Don't get over your skis here. It's week 1 of this marathon. If you don't have a new pair of sneakers, go grab some Nikes. Enjoy this journey with us. Always bet and wager with your means. Don't worry about next week and the week after. Have fun this week. Enjoy.
Yep, and I say the same thing. It's going to be a blast. Me and Jeff will take some good selfies for you guys Saturday or Sunday. And you know what? We are looking forward to making you some money and making us some money, okay? So make sure you come back next week. We'll be back on Thursday at 10 a.m. And this is the NFL Bet Exchange, and we will see you for week 2. So you guys, let's go ahead and as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. And if you got a hunch, bet a bunch. And I am gone.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Bet Exchange, where the sharpest bets are laid. This show was produced by the Prime Wave Media Group.